Mr. Speaker, sir, what is demanded of this August House by our people, our electorate, is action, rather than mere words. Government therefore must see to it that discussions and ideas from the deliberations in this House, beginning with His Excellency's addresses, are considered and acted upon. As an alternative, Mr. Speaker, sir, the House should consider establishing a Parliamentary Select Committee to monitor actions taken on key issues emanating from the deliberations in this Parliament. This committee will deal with current issues rather than historical ones. I will expand on this later, Mr. Speaker, sir. Mr. Speaker, sir, I need to bring this to the attention of this House, as this is part of my responsibility as the leader of the opposition, as a check and balance for government. As the leader of the opposition, I will continue to take my responsibilities seriously and from the perspective of national leadership. Popular reference to the opposition in the past, Mr. Speaker, sir, was almost always derogatory and centered around the view that the opposition was out of government and irrelevant. That is far from the truth and must change. Mr. Speaker, sir, in the United Kingdom, the leader of the opposition is sometimes referred to as the leader of His Majesty's most loyal opposition, depicting that the opposition was not considered an enemy, nor disloyal to anyone, but that they play a very important role in any constitutional democracy. We, the opposition, are part of our nation's official political and governance system, and we intend to remain as that. Mr. Speaker, sir, the office of the opposition leader was tested greatly with the events of last year that led to the split in our membership. For the members of the G9 who have moved on to join government and, of course, assume ministerial responsibilities, I wish you well in your appointments. Mr. Speaker, sir, for those of us that remained in the opposition, we remain resolute in our collective determination to provide alternative views to government and to take them to account on matters of national interest. We will give credit where it's due and strongly criticize where necessary. With our reduced numerical numbers, Mr. Speaker, sir, the road ahead will not be easy, but anything worthwhile never is. We will do our best. We plan to continue to play a constructive role in the national political arena to advance the interests of our nation and all those who call Fiji their home. We will endeavor to work with government, Mr. Speaker, sir, on matters that unite us as a nation, with the hope that they will be willing to listen and implement the alternative ideas that we may propose for the good of the nation. Mr. Speaker, sir, we cannot deny that we've had challenges as a nation. Our past have been marked with political instability and social divisions that had exposed our economic vulnerabilities. But we are fortunate, Mr. Speaker, sir, that we inherited from our colonial masters and our founding leaders as the heart of an independent Fiji, the rule of law, racial and religious tolerance, and meritocracy. These were the buoys that kept Fiji afloat in the dark days of our historical past, and which we must seek to continue to learn from, to translate our challenges as a nation into opportunities. Mr. Speaker, sir, by embracing the rule of law, inclusive policies and national unity and solidarity, we will be bound to reap greater rewards through the learnings from those challenges of our past that had hindered our progress and development. As a multiracial country, religious and racial harmony is something we must work seriously to preserve. I thank the Honourable Prime Minister for his comments this morning, but of course, as I've already said in this House, the rhetoric must be matched by the actions, Mr. Speaker, sir. Mr. Speaker, the essence of His Excellency's message in his address was transformation in leadership and all aspects of governance. Defined by the Oxford Dictionary, Mr. Speaker, sir, transformation is a marked change in form, nature, or appearance. Put simply, Mr. Speaker, sir, His Excellency's address was a call for change for many things in government to ensure that the effect of what we do as politicians and as government positively impacts the nation and the people that we serve. This, Mr. Speaker, sir, was the core of Singapore's strategic pragmatism approach that led to its rapid advancement from a small growing economy to what it has become today. Mr. Speaker, sir, Singapore was always open to adjusting its strategies based on changing circumstances in the global environment. They prioritize policies and actions that deliver tangible results, regardless of ideology. They were receptive to change. Singapore, Mr. Speaker, sir, utilized its geographic location to attract foreign investment and trade, and more importantly, government played an important role in driving development through targeted policies. Mr. Speaker, sir, we are not different from Singapore. We may not be able to grow as rapidly as they did, but we can at least aspire to emulate the steps they have taken to become the business, economic, and innovative hub that we can be, at least in the Pacific region. What Fiji enhance their effectiveness in the social, business, and political environment of today. Mr. Speaker, sir, what we may find in those reviews is the need to redefine many of our policies to enhance our comparative advantage and to ensure that the interests of our nation and the people remain paramount in all programs, policies, and engagements. Mr. Speaker, sir, I will offer some specific thoughts on these when I touch on government's proposed legislative reform agenda towards the end of my discourse. Allow me, Mr. Speaker, sir, to speak on a number of key issues that were raised by His Excellencies in his address. In respect to accountability and transparency, Mr. Speaker, sir, one of the additional tasks that the Parliamentary Select Committee I had earlier mooted could assume is the monitoring of current budget utilization. Late media reports state that about 46 million from the national budget was not utilized. This amount reflects services that were budgeted but not rendered.